Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. It is the evening of June 26th, 2026 here in the United States, and I've had a look at the Idaho versus Kohberger docket to see if Judge Stephen J. Hippler either released the remaining documents from January, February, and March 2025 that he indicated were to be released to the public in the court order dated December 18th, 2025, of which certain documents have been released thus far, certain others remain pending. And unfortunately, as of this time, they are not the remaining documents from the first quarter of 2025 appearing anywhere on the court docket. And now that the courts are closed in Ada County for the weekend, it appears that the next possible opportunity for the remaining documents to be unsealed will not happen until Monday at the very earliest. Secondly, I checked to see if any new court orders have been issued to start the process of unsealing documents from the end of 2024, and unfortunately, there is no such new court order on the docket as of this time. You'll recall that Judge Hippler had announced last July at a hearing in which the media had filed their motion to set aside the gag order, which was granted. There was also the second motion that the media had issued, and that was to immediately unseal the file. The media had pointed out, using the First Amendment as authority, that the case had been highly sealed. Many of the reasons for the motions to seal that were granted over the years had to do with concerns about Mr. Kohberger's constitutional right to a fair trial, and a concern that if documents were released, that right could be perhaps violated. Media pointed out that with Mr. Kohberger's plea of guilty on July 2nd, that concern was no longer at issue. The court denied that order, and that's when he announced that he would be going through this process of issuing orders to both sides, asking for their opinions beginning from the end of the case, which was July of 2025, working backwards few months at a time, asking them to provide their input whether or not documents should be unsealed to the public. There was an order that went out in August dealing with documents from July and June. The next order dealt with documents from April and May. And then finally, the order of October of 2025 dealing with documents from the first quarter of 2025. That is the last court order that's been rendered. There's been nothing that's come out from the court explaining why this process has slowed down to a virtual, if not entire, stop. And it's almost a year now that Mr. Kohberger pled guilty with no other indication from anyone, not the state of Idaho, not the Moscow Police Department, or the officials at the Latah County Prosecutor's Office, that anyone else played any role in these catastrophic events that occurred at 1122 King Road, but Mr. Kohberger. No accessory before the fact, no accessory after the fact, no co-conspirator, and no alternative perpetrator. So the mystery just continues to expand as to why, if no one else was involved but Mr. Kohberger, and that is the state of Idaho's position, the continuation to keep what was a very highly sealed case continued to be largely sealed from the public. We're going to continue to monitor the situation, and we will report back to you as further developments arise.